Hi, my name is Jamie Rue, and today I'm going to talk about Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. Okay, so sorry for the lighting and for just like everything for being gone for so long, but basically the other day I read this book and I shouldn't have been because I should have been doing homework, but here we are with this book. And guys, so I made a video a while back that was called We Need to Talk About YA, and it was about how I just hadn't been able to read anything. And basically part of my problem was that YA frustrates me at the moment. And a lot of what frustrates me is what actually is in Leigh Bardugo's other series, the Grisha series. I'm in the middle of the second book because I just can't get into it because it is one of those narratives that I talk about. I am so sick of chosen one narratives of like we have to save the planet or the world or whatever. We have to save something, someone, somewhere narratives. I'm like so sick of it that I could not finish it. I'll finish it eventually one day, probably, but that's not where I am in life right now. That's not what I want to be reading. I just want people living their lives, having fun, solving problems that don't involve the world exploding if they don't succeed. Along comes Six of Crows. Now, I was going to wait to read this book because I'm kind of one of those neurotic people that needs to read things in chronological order by which they came out. So Six of Crows is something that came out after the entire Grisha series, so I wanted to wait. But the premise of this just sounded so good that I picked it up, and it's my fave, and I haven't read the sequel yet. It's sitting right there. This book, guys, if you have been having some of the problems that I've been having with reading, pick up this book. And I know I'm late to this book. Like, I know I'm late because everyone's been talking about it forever. You know, if you haven't listened to the other people, maybe listen to me. I don't know why you would listen to me instead of the other people. The other people are probably smarter, but listen to me. You have to read this book because it is so good. Like I said, if you're sick of the things that I'm sick of in YA, this is a fun read. You have this band of misfit characters trying to carry out this heist for this rich person for the government, and they have to go infiltrate one of the most secure places in this world. And you know, this is just, it's the greatest. I'm not even joking. I love the characters in it. Everything was just so spectacular, and I can't wait for the second book. By the way, can we also talk about like this beautiful black spine, which you have definitely noticed by now already, but this is gorgeous and my favorite thing on the face of the planet and why I bought the hardcover. I love the writing style. I love that you need to know absolutely nothing about the Grisha series or like the magic system and you still get everything. You don't need to have read the previous series. Leigh Bardugo is really great at explaining things and not making you super confused about what's going on. If you're trying to put together the timeline of the old books and the new books, I'm kind of stupid, so I don't know what the timeline is. This takes place after though, for sure. Like it definitely takes place after. All of the characters, there are six of them, and you get every single one of their points of views, and somehow I did not want to scream. Because normally I hate multiple point of view books, especially when it's 6 different points of view. I'm like, shut up, I don't care about any of you. But every single one of these characters is so complex and so interesting that it doesn't really matter if you're focusing on one character instead of another. And it also doesn't matter because Leigh Bardugo does this very interesting thing, which I think normally I would be a little bit annoyed by, but she does it so well that I don't care, where the character is the main focus for that chapter, but not always. Like a lot of it feels like it's taking place from an omniscient third person point of view rather than like a whatever the other one is. So you're not just trapped in the head of this one person and you don't get a taste of anyone else. A lot of my problem normally, because a lot of the time I care more about one person than another, but this was not the case for this book. Like I actually genuinely cared about every single character when they came up, and I don't actually really know how that's possible, but you know, it happened, so that's all I really care about. Hi, feature editing Jamie here. I just wanted to clear something up that was kind of more of a technical aspect. If you don't write, this really doesn't matter, but I just wanted to clarify that I'm not talking about head hopping here. Leigh Bardugo doesn't head hop. She still writes in a third person limited perspective, but she manages to include all of the other characters still, so it feels like a continual narrative and it doesn't feel as isolated as some other multiple perspective type books that I've read. So this is just, if you don't normally like multiple perspectives, she does it well. That's basically the point I wanted to make. If you don't know what head hopping is, it doesn't really matter. I can make a video about it in the future, but basically I don't condone head hopping or whatever. Like I think that's kind of like not the greatest. So if you don't know what I'm talking talking about Never Mind and Back to Past Me. If you're not into multiple perspectives, I would still give this one a chance because I'm also not into multiple perspectives, and this one did it like so well. This book was so fun and fast-paced, and it didn't even feel like I was reading this much. How long was this book? Yeah, this is 462 pages. It did not feel like 462 pages. It felt like 300 maybe. It felt so much shorter than it actually was. That's just a testament to how good of an author Leigh Bardugo is. I love a lot of YA authors, but I think Leigh Bardugo's writing style is in my top 5 favorite. It's not too literary where you can't get into it, but it's not so commercial where it's like, okay. There's literary merit here, and there's also some really, really great, it's just everything about her is so great. Like, you guys, you should read this book. The main characters' names are Kaz, Inej, I don't know how to pronounce anything. It's Inej. And it might be Kaz or Kaz, I don't know. There's Jesper, there's Nina, there's Matthias, and there's Willen. So that's 6 characters, and let me tell you, you know, they're all great. Like, I love all of them. I can't tell you a lot about all of them, but Kaz, dude, Kaz is so great. He's like so good. Ina's just so good. Those 2 are my favorites, and I think they're supposed to be. Like, they are kind of the main focus, but the other people are also so good. It just doesn't make sense. I think the least developed of them all were Jesper and Willen. Willen was the least developed, but they were still dynamic characters. You still got them. You still know what they are and what they want and what their goals are, and it's so good. 10 out of 10. Read this book. You have to, like, pick it up, go read it. If you're into fantasy at all, please. If you don't want spoilers, I suggest that you, like, sorta super leave right now, because you might not love being spoiled on all of the things that happen in this really amazing book, but if you don't care, I guess whatever. Okay, the ending of this book. Here's the thing, is I didn't need this to be a duology. I could have just had them accomplish this heist and been fine, but it makes sense that this was the ending. It works. Oh my god. I don't understand, by the way, why did Kaz not kill Pekka Rollins? I'm so confused. Why was there blood on him if he didn't kill, like, what? And also, why? You had him. You were right there. You could have killed him. This is your goal. This is what you want out of life. But instead you used him as leverage, which I guess is smart and kind of selfless, but also really stupid. Also, the end of this book when he swipes every single valuable thing that Pekka Rollins is wearing. Kaz, I don't actually really know how he would have done that, but the fact that it happens, you know, 10 out of 10. Kaz is like my favorite character. He's one of my favorite characters ever. I can't. He's so dynamic. He's such a bad person. Like, he's actually such a bad person. If he was a real person, I would hate him and be terrified. But here he's just, and him and Inej, and just like, I can't with, and the touching thing and the skin, dude, the skin phobia. When he passed out in that cart, and Inej is just like what? Like, like, the Kaz Brecker just passed out. What the frick do I do? Me too. Girl, me too. Like, what? You know, it's just, this book was so much, and oh my god, Matthias and Nina, oh my god, that they are so cute and the best. And also, Matthias's character, because he's been led so astray from what decent humanity should think, and then he just comes back, and it's so good. Oh my god, the part where he, like, oh my god, he drowns when Kaz drowns at the end, and then it's brought back, obviously, but then when he drowns at the end, and Matthias is like, I should fucking let him die. Everything about this, I love. I can't wait to read the second book. Okay, I'm gonna go through this a little bit better, and I'm gonna go character by character, because I think might be the best way to pull this off. I'm gonna go with Kaz first, because Kaz, whatever the fuck his name is, I love him. I love everything about him. I love that he has a cane, that he uses his weakness as a form of strength, that he beats people up with his cane and no one expects it, and everyone's like, you're a stupid kid, you're 17, and then he is actually the smartest and the cleverest and the best, and he has absolutely no real magical powers, but he is magical. I love the phobia. I love it. I love that. I love that he has this, like, very tangible weakness, and oh my god, I love that scene at the end with him and Inej where Inej is like, what, you want me and we'll just, like, not touch ever, and that's the relationship we'll have? Like, no, fuck you. A little bit insensitive of her, but I also, that's her, that, you know, I'll get to her, but oh god, I can imagine his face in that moment, and I feel so bad for him because he was definitely like, this is not my fault, but, like, Kaz is an idiot going after Pekka Rollins. Like, he's actually stupid. I don't know what or how or why or when or like what's wrong with you. It's stupid. It's throwing off everybody. And the whole thing that Kaz says about him getting sloppy because he like reverted back to his younger self. That was so like, I can't, because now, like, he's gonna rebuild in the next book is what I suspect, and I'm gonna be so down for it. It's gonna be so good. And by the way, Kaz's whole history sucked. I was like, what the frick is this? Are you kidding me? Kaz, I'm sorry, but like, what? And I love him, and I can't. And I also love the rumors about why he wears gloves all the time. I love that none of the rumors are like, oh, because he has a phobia. All of them are like horrifying rumors about him, and it's just so good. He's so well characterized. Everyone fears him because he is that powerful, and it's not undeserved. I'm interning at a literary agency right now, and I have read so many manuscripts where people have a reputation of being a certain way, and then they were never shown that way. It's never how they act. But Kaz does not do that. Kaz, whatever, he is what people say he is. There's more to him. There's more. But his reputation is earned. It is deserved. It is who he embodies and what he projects into the world and who he tries to be, and that it was just one of the most satisfying things to read ever. People say he's smart, people say he's clever, but then he shows it. The part at the jail when they find the lockpicks in his mouth, and it's like, oh well, he just totally got screwed over. No, he was being smart. That was not him getting caught. That was him being smart and totally outsmarting everybody. And it's also so great that he just doesn't tell anybody what the plan is, and everyone's just like, the fuck, man? What are you doing? Because that's the way that he keeps power, and it's just, he's such a well-characterized figure. And Leigh Bardugo says that the cane thing, she wrote that because she shares that with him. You know, he hurt his leg, but she has a disease. What did she say? It's called bone death or something. She says, I have a degenerative condition called osteonecrosis. This basically translates to bone death, which sounds kind of gothy and romantic, but actually means that every step I take is painful and that sometimes I need to walk with a cane. It's no coincidence I chose to create a protagonist struggling with similar symptoms, and I often felt that Kaz and I were limping along this road together. I love that, again, because of how she characterizes this disability of his. It is something that hinders him, to be fair, but it's not something that he's down on himself about. He has taken this disability and made it into, like, his cane, for example, is a weapon. That's what he uses that for. It's not a show of his weakness, it is a show of his strength, and he's made it into a strength, and I love it. It's, like, actually my favorite thing. Kaz's ruthlessness, I think, was so well displayed, and also his anger and his very, very clear affection for Inej, whatever, fuck, how do you pronounce her name, was so well depicted in that whole thing with that dude who stabbed Inej, whatever the hell his name was. His name started with an O. I don't remember what that dude's name was because I don't think it actually really matters, because he died because Kaz killed him, because that's what actually matters here, is that Kaz killed somebody because he hurt Inej, and he might have done it for one of the other dregs, but because it was Inej, it was so good. And the fact that he couldn't even visit her because he was like, I can't, like, first of all, sick people know, second of all, like, I can't seem to show too much affection for you. And also this, like, whole, just, like, the fact that he, like, came down to, like, tell her whatever the frick he had to tell her, and she was like, yeah, I know that, why'd you come down here to tell me that? And he's like, because I needed an excuse to talk to you. And it was just, like, my favorite thing. Here's the thing, I don't love when every single character gets paired off in, like, one of these groups, because they do that sort of, like, in every single series where like the group, like everyone pairs off in this group, and it's a thing. But in this one, they're all so good. Like the dynamics are all so good that I don't really care, and it's like okay. I love Inej. I just love her. I love the idea of the Wraith and that she's kind of this secret. She's a very bird-like figure in my mind, like someone just going around and snooping and just hearing all this information, and I love her. Like I love her. And first of all, the fact that those leather shoes got destroyed made me really sad because she like loved those shoes, and I was very, very sad about it. The book, I was also upset at the end when she was just like I'll have all of you or I won't have you at all or whatever, whatever she says to Kaz. I was like, fuck you. Like he's trying, sort of. This was a step for him, to be fair. You know, you deserve more. But, like, come on. He can't, like, he doesn't have control over that. He's trying a little bit. There's, like, a reciprocal thing that could happen here. Reciprocating thing that could happen, or whatever. I don't know how to speak. But, you know, that's not what happens. That would be lovely, but that's not what happens. And she just says no. And also, she gets kidnapped. Wait, hold on. I'm, like, totally missing. She gets kidnapped. That's, like, of the people to take, Inej was the person that would be taken, and the person who would matter the most besides Kaz, whatever, but you wouldn't, like, nothing would happen in the next book if he wasn't around. That's not true. The other people were smart too, but he's the mastermind, so, like, you can't take him out of it, so Inej was the logical choice. And also, like, the emotional choice, Leigh Bardugo. Why? Also, how she freezes up in front of Helene, whatever the fuck her name is. Love that, too, because of course you do. Of course you do. That's humanity and how it works, and I'm glad that she's not just this invincible character. I also love how she gets revenge at the end with that diamond, by the way, like, stealing that diamond. Like, yes. Helene was also a great character. All of the characters were so good. I love everything about her and the thing about her family, and she doesn't know what she wants, and then she figures it out, and she's gonna get a ship, and I hope she gets a ship, and I don't know what happens. I hope she lives. I don't know anything about Leigh Bardugo, really, in terms of her writing style. Matthias was one of the best characters. He's so, like, I'm so about his character, like, everything about it. The bitterness and the anger and the realization and the betrayal and the conflict and the everything, like, just everything about him, and coming to terms with the fact that what he has thought was the truth and was right and was real is not. I absolutely love that. The prejudice that they have against Grishas, and the fact that he overcomes it and he learns that they're not monsters, they're not witches, they're people and they have feelings. And from watching Nina and learning a little bit, observing her and the way she acts and the way that everything happens, like, he learns that she's not a monster. She's literally just a human freaking being. And he rejects their philosophy. He could have stayed stuck there where he was, and he could have continued on with this, like, hatred of his, but he doesn't, because he is a character that has a character arc and grows, and I love him, and I just love everything. Like, the part at the end where I thought he had betrayed Nina, are you kidding? I was, like, silently screaming at my book because I couldn't scream. But, like, I was like, no, are you kidding me? Like, are you for real? And then he did what I wanted him to do, and I was so happy. By the way, why did they not kiss there? Because Nina was like, when we get out of here, I'm gonna kiss you. Kiss me now. What's wrong with you? Anyway, I wanted them to get back together so badly, and I'm so glad that it happened. And everything about Nina's character too. It's just everything is so compelling, and they're dynamic. Here's the thing: is separately they're very good characters, but together they just blend so well. They're so good together, not even necessarily as a couple, just when they interact, there is this chemistry and this reactionary relationship that they have with each other that's just so fascinating to read about, and it was so good. Their dynamic was just absolutely incredible, and I loved it. And also the fact that Matthias is just snarky and sarcastic, and you're all stupid and you're all idiots, and like, what the fuck am I doing here? Just, I love him. I want to know what happens with his character in the next book, because there's gotta be something, so I'm stoked about it. And Nina's character too, like, dude, she's indebted to Matthias, but then also wants to return home, and she's this bond that she has with Inej, that kind of sisterly bond that you don't see any really brotherly bonds. Kaz doesn't really have that with anybody. That, like, communal bond between Inej and Nina that's, like, easy and kind of breathable, and not what Inej and Kaz have, because that's filled, like, laced with a lot of tension and unsaid things, and the dynamic is just completely different. But between Inej and Nina, it's like a lot freer, and I love. Jesper is an idiot. That's all I'm gonna say. I know that this is what gambling does to people. I know that gambling is an addiction, and it's such a realistic depiction of it that it made me so angry. I was like, are you kidding me? And also, if you give Jesper that 4 billion, million, whatever the friggin' number was, if you give Jesper the money for that, he's gonna gamble. I don't understand. Like, I don't, like, why, like, addiction makes me so angry. In any case, I love the insecurity that he had about Kaz. The fact that he was like, I'm expendable and Kaz doesn't value me, blah, 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 and the jealousy he has about Inej, and also the slight jealousy that Kaz has with Jesper and Inej's relationship. Just the tension there was so interesting. And the fact that Jesper's constantly like, I am useless, why am I even here? He tells himself and tells other people that like he knows why he's there, but he doesn't, and he thinks that he is not being valued. He also wonders why he's there. And that blow at the end when Kaz is like, you are the one who betrayed us, when at the beginning he was like, do you think I would betray you too? God, that foreshadowing that he was the one who screwed up, but at the beginning he was like, would you like suspect me too? And that's like, that insecurity like festered the whole way, and it like it just, I can't. Willen's character got the least amount of attention. Willen, that dynamic that Willen and Jesper have, they're totally gonna get together because the playful teasing and the everything, like it's gonna happen. If it doesn't happen, I'll be slightly salty about it. God, it's just his character, as little page time as Willen got, he was still such a big part of that team. Oh my god, the part at the beginning when Pekka Roland's team is attacking the ship and Willen's like, close your eyes, or Jesper's like, why? And he's like, just do it. I loved that scene. That scene was one of the best in terms of Jesper Willen moments. I'm talking a lot about character dynamics because I love all of them. Jesper and Willen had a really, really solid, good one. I don't know how she did it. That gamble that Kaz took at the end, and how Willen apparently was like, dude, this isn't gonna work. Also, Willen, why didn't you mention that it wasn't gonna work earlier? I mean, I guess he wouldn't have taken you, but you know, whatever. Dude, Venak was such a dick. Like, what the fuck? I feel so bad for Willen that his father is like that. Also, those letters, like, are you kidding? Like, what father does that? Like, it's not his fault he can't read. It happens. I love, by the way, that everyone has parent troubles. And everyone has parents, period, like mentioned somewhere in the context of like wherever, because, you know, yeah, parents, it's not that they're like gone, like just off the face of the planet. It's like they're there, they exist somewhere in the world, and it's like they're brought up often, and it's like a very integral part of their lives, and it's so good. Fuck Venak. You know, I don't really know what else to say about this. I just wanted everyone to be happy and for them to all be rolling in dough, but that's not what's happening as of the current moment. Maybe it'll happen in the Crooked Kingdom, but I don't know. And I just love everything. I love everything about this book. I can't wait for more, and all of the action scenes were so much, and everything was so tense, and just like the prison and like actually finding whatever the frick that dude's name was. But yeah, I did not address nearly even a little bit all of what I wanted to discuss here, but this video is already like, I've been filming forever already. So if you want to talk about something regarding this book with me, leave a comment. I will be happy to fangirl with you. And I'm so excited to read the second book. Like, I can't wait to read the Kingdom, so I am gonna probably go do that actually right now. So yeah.